We're also following that fast-moving fire overnight that destroyed homes and businesses in Old City. The destruction, well, it may not end there. Lauren Johnson filling us in near 3rd and Walnut this morning. Hi, Lauren.
Hey there, Thomas. So here's what we do know. Philly firefighters pulled an all-nighter here on scene, and we heard yesterday from the Philly Fire Commissioner that that would be the case because they know that this fire posed the potential for a building collapse, and because it happened in a pretty dense part of the city, fire officials wanted to be extremely cautious about allowing people back in too soon. So for now, about 160 people are still out of their homes and hotel rooms after this fast-moving fire jumped from floor to floor in a matter of minutes yesterday morning, shortly after 3 a.m. At the height of that firefight, 400 firefighters were on scene battling the blaze that burned away at a 5-story apartment building full of families. Luckily, many of them heard alarms, smelled smoke, and then saw smoke out of their windows, prompting them to wake their neighbors up and get out. Just across the street, the Museum of the American Revolution closed to the public to allow the displaced victims a place to shelter in the morning cold. Meanwhile, fire crews worked tirelessly all day and night, proud of their work to keep it contained.
I can't really say where it started because the fire obviously is still under investigation, but it's fast-moving fire. I mean, heavy fire load, and it did move quickly. But again, our people were in the right spots, we put our people in the right places, and we were able to keep it from spreading from either side.
One man who was inside the building at the time of the fire tells us there have been so many false alarms in this building in the past. He's just happy he took this one seriously. And as we celebrate President's Day today, many tourists, of course, hoping to enjoy the historic sites of Old City. That's going to be really tough today because, again, the roads are still blocked off in this area. License and inspections will be on scene this morning to do an assessment of the building and the surrounding structures, while fire crews continue to wait and sort of watch, Thomas.
Yeah, safety a big factor this morning. Lauren Johnson. Lauren, thank you. 5:04.
Hey, Karen, police want to know exactly who this man is, and they're lucky to find out what he did thanks to the many cameras that are perched up around this building. Several of them captured these images last Thursday. The young man walking on 22nd Street. At some point, he pulls a gun out, racks it, and then returns it to his sweatshirt pocket. He then tries to pull on the school's front doors, but they're locked, and that made all the difference in this case because the young man decided to leave the school before he could ever make it inside armed. The school does well protecting its students and staff, not just with the cameras on the outside of the campus, but the office makes you ring a bell and identify yourself before you're even allowed in. Once you do step inside, metal detectors scan every single person. Why this young man decided on this school, no one knows.
I always thought bullies carry guns and scared people carry guns. I'm scared. I'm scared for their life. Yeah. I got a little brother, he's 11, and I got a little brother that's 14, 8th grade and 6th grade.
Nicholas Cruz brought a high-powered gun onto a school campus in Broward County, Florida last week on Valentine's Day, went on a deadly shooting spree. Some people are wondering if the incidents that we're seeing here in Philadelphia are sort of those copycat crimes because last Friday, a student brought a fake gun to school. Yesterday, police, though, charged that youngster in that crime. In this incident happening last Thursday, police are just releasing that surveillance video, but they're hoping that someone might recognize this young man and give them some information as to who he is and why he was here. Karen, Thomas.
Very alarming. Lauren, thank you. 4:38.
What exactly are they putting on the hair, Lauren?
Salons are doing this. Well, I'm going to tell you that coming up. We've heard all the trends, right? Unicorn, mermaid, now ghosting, as you mentioned. We're going to show you how the transformation happens coming up after the break.
Lauren, you're at a salon in Eagleville to show us. You're with an expert. She does this all the time, doesn't she?
We made a trip, girlfriend. You want me to tell you where we are? Francesco and Giovanni, they're both hiding. They're brothers right here. Hello, wave to the camera. So this is their salon, but here's who the star of the morning is. Madison, we found her on social media. She's really nervous. I'm about to relax her. Girl, this is fabulous.
Thank you.
Tell me what it is and what you did here. So it's called ghosting, right?
So it's called ghosting, which is a new trend name to me, but I like it. It's cool. So this was a 2-step process here, and this process can take up to 3 hours. It can take up to 6 hours.
You said if it was my hair because it's so dark, it could take what, a year?
It could take like a year of appointments. and like you want to do it very
Slowly.
slowly and healthy. You don't want to damage the hair.
What I love about this is that you kind of can't tell what color it is. Is that the point of it, sort of?
Yeah, so it's kind of like a muted fashion color. So it will kind of make you question, like, is it lavender? Is it silver? Is it white? Is it blonde? You know, it's kind of cool.
So you started last night. What'd you have to do? Because her hair was already pretty blonde, right?
So she was already pretty blonde. So what we did was we went in and we highlighted everything out. And then this morning put the silver and lavendery and icy colors on.
And the finished product is gorgeous. Did you like wand it or curl it at the end?
Yeah, so we curled it, and she has great hair. So
She has fabulous hair. Good hair model.
very easy.
You have another model behind you, a little different look, but same process, right?
Yeah, so this is a two-step process. Becca was bleached, and then bleached very light, and then toned with like a true white silver color. And this, since her hair is short, the process is a little quicker compared to Alexis over here.
Of course. Now, if someone comes in and they say, like, Madison, I saw you online, I want to get my hair ghosted, you have to tell them, like, the whole deal. What would you say? Does it matter what color your hair starts as? How long? How short?
Yeah, so I usually start out with, this can take up to like 4 standard appointments or more. And it's going to cost you an hourly price of like $85 to $100 an hour.
So it's an investment.
It's an expensive, yeah, it's totally an expensive investment.
For someone like Alexis, that's her name, right?
Yeah.
If her hair is this long, what's the keep up or the upkeep with that kind of a look?
So I have her coming in like every 4 to 6 weeks, and that's for a highlight, and she gets a toner. But she's also shampooing at home with a extreme silver wash or purple shampoo to keep the color maintained, because these colors fade very easily.
If she decided, all right, I'm over it, I want to go back to my normal color, is that easier or harder than it was to ghost the hair?
It's a quick thing. I mean, just a clarifying shampoo or a little like bleach cap, which just removes all the tone from the hair. And yeah, so she'd be blonde pretty quick, because under all that silver hair, it's blonde.
I love it. Our intern found you on social media. Tell people where they can find you.
So you can find me at Hair by Madison Carberry, and Facebook at Hair by Madison Carberry, and Francesco and Giovanni Salon and Spa.
Love it. Tell me how to spell your last name, just in case people get confused on that.
Carbrey.
Madison, good work. Guys, this is very, very, very fascinating, because I love that you really can't tell what color the hair is. It's like, are you here or are you not? It's
Yeah,
like the
it's
ghost.
pretty. And it's a process, sounds like. When you want it, you have to really be dedicated to getting those appointments.
Right?
Thank you, Lauren. Yeah, that upkeep kind of scares me. So
Hey there, Karen. Yeah, people are praying for the quick capture of this man who they say made some pretty serious threats when he was here at church on Sunday, and they're not taking this lightly. This is the man police say they want to capture, so they issued a warrant for his arrest. The charge is harassment and making terroristic threats. He's Sherwood Hargrove. Apparently on Sunday at the 11:30 service, the 59-year-old caused quite the memorable disruption. There was some disagreement he had between some men and women of the congregation when an elder in the church asked him to leave. It's what happened next that has police taking his words and threats seriously.
And one of the elders was escorting him out, and as he was escorting him out, it became kind of a shoving match, and Hargrove allegedly said to him, "You're all going to die." And as he gets his coat and he gets outside, he said, "I'm going to come back and kill everybody. I know how to do it."
Yeah, that's pretty scary. And with the church shooting in Texas and the recent school shooting in Florida, Chief Michael Chitwood says you cannot take those words lightly. In fact, he said, if you make a threat to kill someone, you need to be locked up, period. So that's where they want Hargrove, behind bars. If you happen to know who he is or where police can find him, you're asked to call and let them know. Karen and Thomas.
all right, hopefully we do get him off the streets. Lauren, thank you.
Hey there, Mike and Alex. So I know this story can be a little complicated. Follow me if you can. Here's the deal. We're on Roosevelt Boulevard, the 200 block. It's a very busy highway. Police just telling us one of the busiest in Philadelphia. So it's amazing to them that this crime was committed right here. Here's what we know. Just after 4 o'clock, gunshots heard in the 200 block of Roosevelt. police show up here and they come in contact with a woman, 34 years old, who was pistol whipped pretty brutally by a man that she described as Hispanic, lying in her bed reading the Bible when he forced his way inside the home asking for drugs and money. Luckily, he left, he fled the scene, and he wasn't seen since then. While police were here investigating, a half-dressed man walked up to them saying he was also the victim of a home invasion. He lived in the same apartment building as this woman, in a basement apartment. He described the same incident, a man forcing his way inside the home with a black handgun. He came in asking for drugs, money, and an unidentified man. This man decided to play dead on the floor of his apartment. At that point, the suspect started rummaging around the apartment looking for what police believed to be drugs and money. The man was able to escape his apartment, running away from the scene here. So there is some evidence outside down on the sidewalk. Not sure what that is, but police say at this hour what they know is that they're looking for a Hispanic male that was wearing a dark colored sweatshirt. The thing that they recovered in the back of the house was a light colored sweatshirt, so they're not sure if the man was alone. Another interesting piece to this story, Mike and Alex, is that a block away on Loudon Street, just off of Roosevelt Boulevard, about 4 or 5 cars were hit by someone. No one knows who, so they're not sure if that suspect was in a car and hit those cars trying to leave the scene, or if this is a completely separate incident. What they tell us at this hour is they need to talk to those victims, both of them now at Einstein Medical Center, and when they interview them, they'll have more details on exactly what happened, and we can bring you an update.
Sure, bet she goes back and grabs that Bible again. Right. What a wild scene. All right, Lauren, thank you. 6:34.